All right. Welcome back to episode 7. This is Ryan and Mitchy. This is Ryan.
This is Mitchell.
Everyone here calls him Mitchy. So we still haven't had a name. We had over 1,000 emails, and they were pretty much 50-50 on Big Sack Lunch and 3 dudes in a bubble bath. So we're going to need some tie-breaking emails. Honestly, fuck. The next person that emails us, we'll pick that name. No, just kidding. It's got to be a fair sample size. But we combed through a lot of emails. Like, that's how Mitchell spent his weekend, right?
Yeah, that and watching a shit ton of Lost.
Oh, God. Really? That show again?
I'm on, like, season 3, which is, like, every season. For some reason, every season is 24 episodes, which is 24 hours of your life.
Which you'll never get back. Well, 40 minutes each episode.
So that's 3 days of my life.
You know what's funny is that whenever we talk about Lost, that's exactly what you could say about our viewership. They're gone. We lose them once we start talking about that show.
I could say the same thing about politics.
Well, we don't talk about politics. Politics is important. This fucking giant storm.
Lost is important.
Yeah, you're right. Good point. I rest my case. I want to talk about this big storm. Have you seen anything about Big Sandy?
We're on episode number 7.
Sorry, I was stuffing these black beans into my lunch. I bought a sandwich from Which.
You dropped it on the ground.
And then I dropped it, but I caught it between my legs, like I catch most dudes' dongs. And oh, wait. That sounded gay.
And we're missing Johnny. Alabama Jonny's a little busy for us today.
Yeah. Johnny, if the man tells Johnny to jump, Johnny will say, well, how high do I need to jump, massa? And if the man tells Johnny to stay late, Johnny will say, sure, massa, if only there were more than 24 hours in a day, I would stay even later, sir. He's from Alabama. That's why he talks like that. So
like
maybe
a slave. He sounds like a slave.
All right. I didn't mean to make it racial. That was an accident. But now when Johnny realizes that we're making fun of him, he'll be like, I'm never missing another pod blast with those guys.
Yep.
So that's our temporary name. I guess we...
Not to mention the ladies.
Right.
All the ladies that email us, they miss him.
Yeah.
They're going to miss him.
I was surprised that we had over 210 emails from chicks, which was incredible.
Which is incredible because we got about 1,000.
Total.
And, 20% of them was women.
I know. I was amazed. I was happy. I was pleased. I was really pleased because probably my favorite gender is women. Of the two genders, I like women more because they have... What do you like more, boobies or a dude's chest? If you had to pick.
Well, who's dude?
It doesn't matter the dude.
Who's
boobies or the dude?
No, there's no question about
There's no question about it. It's fucking dude.
Think about which do you like in your face more.
Boobies.
There you go.
What would you rather have in your face? A beaver or dong? A beaver, right?
Exactly.
Wasn't that part of your weekend?
I don't want to get into that.
But you did. What? I want everyone to be aware that part of my weekend was not getting laid. Actually,
Why?
What do you mean? When do I ever get laid?
What? You got a girlfriend.
Easy come, easy go, dude. Actually, listen to this. Actually, my dong and my bladder lately have been feeling kind of weird. So I went to the doctor yesterday. No, this is serious.
Are you sure you want to share this?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I go to the doctor because I thought I had a bladder infection. Now, dudes have much longer urethras than women because your urethra goes down your whole dong, whereas a woman...
I got about an 8-inch urethra.
Yeah, you probably do, but 4 of those are inside of you, and the other 4 is your little pecker. Like your urethra starts before your pecker, dude. So anyhow...
16.
So, right, exactly. It's 16-inch dong. So I'm like, okay, I look up some different things, and it's urethritis or bladder infection. And it's hard for a dude to get a bladder infection because basically some pee or jizz has to get stuck in your dong, and then sugars. Did you know that jizz feasts on sugars? So if there's sugars in the wall of your urethra, the jizz will stay in there and just eat it. That's because they're trained to stay alive on sugars.
It'll eat the urethra?
No, it'll eat the sugars, but it'll block urethra. So if you jack off or have sex, it's really important to go pee after. Immediately, both man and female. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
How did you learn, all this stuff about screwing if you didn't know that?
How much do you think I know?
Not very
I'm
much.
a fucking encyclopedia of banging.
I figure, look at this fucking stud. He's making so much ass. He has crushed so much ass, I bet he knows every which way to go in there. That's what I figured. So it is integral that you pee, that you relieve yourself after you jack off or make love.
I eliminate the step where I have to get off my ass and go to the bathroom. Because everybody knows that after you're done having sex, you don't want to get up.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I just fall asleep. So I pee either in the bed or in the chick. And chicks love it.
You urinate inside of women. Wow. You're a fucking catch, bro.
Right in that urethra.
Wow. Well, anyhow, so I went to the doctor down in San Mateo, California. Me and Mitchy are based in a video game company out in the Bay Area, outside of San Francisco. So I go down to San Mateo, and I go into this room, and this old Hispanic lady takes my blood pressure and shit, and she's like, she leads me to this room, and she goes, Ryan, I need you to fucking pull out your cock and piss into this little cup. And she's like, I'm like, which cup? She goes, pick any of them. I go, I'm going to fill that thing up. So she goes, just dribble a bit of pee into the toilet and then pee the rest in the cup. So I do it and I give it to her. And she runs the test and it's all clean. I don't have anything. Then I go in the other room and this Filipino guy's like, drop your pants. And he drops them and he's like, pull out your dong. And I pull out my pecker and he's like, have you traveled lately? And I go, no. I go, actually, I went to Vegas. He goes, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? Any hanky-panky? I go, no hanky. And I said, no hanky-panky. He goes, no. And then he made me open up my dong, like the tip of my dong. So he looked in there. He's like, it looks good. Then he made me cut my balls and cough. And he's like, you're okay. He feels your...
Did you cup your own balls?
No, he cupped my nuts. He cupped them really gingerly and softly, too. Like, it was the most romantic doctor's appointment I'd ever had.
Was he wearing a glove?
He was.
Okay.
And actually, when he was cupping my balls, I asked him if he would just jam his index finger up my rectum hole just for the hell of it. He obliged. So he's like, your dong looks good. He gave me this. He did say that, actually.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He called it your dong?
No. He's like, Mr. Ryan, your penis look good. I was like, that's what she said, bro. And then we high-fived.
I hope you washed first. Because those nuts are dirty.
Anyhow, then I went and got these meds that are just going to kill any kind of thing.
Sugars.
Basically, it can happen to any dude. Just your urethra might get clogged a little bit.
So
just gets inflamed. That's it.
So they're little sperm babies, and they're feeding on sugars that are inside your urethra.
Maybe.
Your fallopian tubes.
Like, I was prepared when I went in there, because if he said, Ryan, you can't jack off anymore, I was going to punch him in the face. God, Mitchy, stop farting. You're fucking 30.
I'm not 30.
Oh, all right.
Speaking of age,
you're 15, huh?
My birthday is this Saturday.
How old are you going to be?
24.
Wow. You're going up so fast.
I'm feeling pretty old. I'm feeling like I'm 30.
Well, I mean, you're going to be 30 one day, and then you're going to be 40, and then you're going to be 50. So there's no use worrying about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your? Do you have some long-term plans? You're in a pretty serious relationship. You're 24. You're one of those.
I spent the weekend planning my finances, actually.
With your lady?
And it's not all that exciting to talk about. But
does this involve when you steal toilet paper from work?
Gotta cut corners.
So how did you plan your finances? Is there anything interesting?
Trying to figure out savings and...
you have student loans, right?
Yeah, shit tons of student loans. Like, it's hard to save when you got a butt ton of money to pay back.
Mm-hmm. It's impossible.
Yeah, especially because student loans have the highest interest rates of any loans. It's like...
Do they?
It's like 11.3 interest rate.
But that doesn't kick in until at a certain point, right?
No, it's
already?
Like, yeah, it's already in. I've already accumulated like $100 on one of my loans. It's ridiculous.
How much are you paying? How much do you owe?
84 total.
84 G's. Wow.
Yeah.
I'd steal toilet paper too. I mean, if you buy a hooker, you should hit her over the head and not pay her either.
Yeah, you gotta cut corners.
You gotta cut corners. Have you considered dealing drugs?
No.
Okay.
I insulated my place. Instead of getting a space heater, I insulated my place with socks yesterday.
Wow. Aren't you concerned though that it's going these cost cutting measures are going to make you seem like some Russian person in 1945?
It's either that or like be broke.
That's true. But so you're telling me you're paying over $1,000 a month in loans?
Yeah, just about $500 every 2 weeks.
My sister owed $200,000 for law school. It's just I can't imagine how. And there's a lot of kids coming out of college today that are in your same exact boat.
Yep.
And you went to art school, right?
Yeah.
And for some reason, art schools are all 100 G's or more.
I went to a private school, so if I went to a university, and
it would have been half as much.
Yeah, it probably would have been like 40.
But if you hadn't gone to your art school, you wouldn't have met your special lady, right?
No. I met some special ladies, but...
Each of them was special in their own way?
Yeah.
Were any of them nuts?
Oh, yeah. Tons of nuts. crazy girls at art school.
Any good stories?
Let me think here.
The craziest broad that you messed around with. You don't have to have sex with her, but even if you smooched her and she wouldn't let you go.
I think I got date raped once.
By a gentleman?
No.
By a chick?
By a chick.
What happened?
Man. I feel like...
Don't name names.
I feel like people would be listening now.
No. Don't worry. 20% of our listeners are chicks. What are the odds that she is one of the 200?
All right.
Don't even name names. Just make
So I went to a party.
Okay.
A Halloween party.
What city?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
I was a sophomore, I think. It was a freshman party.
So it was the 2007,
younger kids. Yeah, it's 2008.
Okay.
And I'm drinking a lot. This is before I knew my limit on how much to drink.
You were drunk.
I was wasted.
What did you drink?
I think I was chugging vodka that night. And
Mitchy's not a big guy. He's very strong and athletic and lithe, but he's probably, what, 140?
130, 140. But it's lean.
It's lean. It's super lean. He's cut up. He's like, would you say Bruce Lee?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel's like 230 pounds. And gay, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's as gay as a $3 bill. All right, go ahead with your story.
Anyway,
Sorry. You were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You were hammered off vodka.
Hammered in somebody's basement in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, at a party. Not alone.
Not alone.
This girl was like, she's grinding on me on the dance floor. The only reason I'm dancing is because I'm drunk enough to not remember in the morning.
Dancing's stupid.
I'm not a big dancer.
Me neither.
She's wanting it. I can tell. She's giving me the vibes. And then I get to the point where I'm a little too drunk, and
you can't seal the deal.
I wasn't interested. She was a little bit bigger than I would have liked.
So like 240.
Like Vin Diesel stuff.
Okay. Okay.
And
good.
So I drank a lot that night, and then I ended up stumbling up into like the part of the party where there's no people allowed, where people reside outside of the basement, because I needed something to barf into, and I was looking for a bathroom. And I went into their kitchen, barfed in their sink, found a pot, carried around a pot that you would cook ramen in.
Or stew.
Pot stew. And I barfed in that like another time, and then was laying there on the living room floor. I'm pretty sure I had barf all over myself, and I had a pot full of barf next to me.
Wow.
And the next thing I know, I'm at this girl's house, the one that was grinding on me.
Next thing you know. One thing leads to another.
Next morning, I wake up, and I had never been to this house before. The only way I knew what was going on is because I saw that girl.
Your dong was pulsating and bleeding.
And I didn't say anything. I was just like, I felt the urgent need to get the hell out of there. And so I walked home.
Walk of shame. Through
like River West, which is like the city just next to Milwaukee, or a district inside of Milwaukee, sort of.
Okay.
And I think it was like a 3-mile walk home, and I'm super hungover. And I'd never been to River West at that point, so I didn't know where I was going.
Hope everyone.
That's pretty much it.
So basically, you could have just said you had sex with a girl that you didn't want to, that was gross, and you were too drunk. But then you mentioned the walk home, but nothing really interesting happened on the walk home. I kept waiting for like a bear to attack you, or you to see two vagrants screwing.
No.
Actually, that reminds me of a pretty good story in college for me when I was 20 years old. So this was like the late 90s, right?
I'm sure it could be my story. Let's hear it.
I was at this bash, and I met this really hot Hispanic chick named Maria. And my friend Big Dunn was driving this Volkswagen Passat. And Maria's like, I need a ride home.
You know what that means.
And I said, you can come to our house because we're going to fucking smoke weed and get drunk. And we did. But before that, there was no room in Big Dunn's car. There were two dudes and some chicks in the back, and then I was in the front. And Maria's like, I'll sit on your lap. I'm like, all right.
There you go.
So
it's just like that viewer that sent us that message.
Oh, that's right.
Jeff?
Well, one of the viewers.
One of the many.
So I remember I was hammered, and All of a sudden, I was like, done, pull over. And he couldn't pull over. We were on the freeway. And she was sitting on my lap. So I threw up all over her back. All over her back. We get to my house. And I assume there's no way I'm getting tail. But then, I remembered just how good I am at getting tail. And so I'm like, why don't you take a shower? I gave her a towel and everything. I let her use soap. She takes a shower. She comes out, right? And then we're messing around. And one thing leads to another. And she gave me head, right?
Okay.
And I finished the deal in her mouth.
Okay.
So I nutted in her mouth. And so my roommate heard her spitting it all in the sink. And then she comes back and she's like, it's my turn. And I was like, you know what, dude? I threw up. You probably don't want me down there. And she was mad about that for the rest of our college time. She was mad about that I didn't return the favor. But you know what, dude? Fucking live and learn, bro.
Uh-huh.
And so I guess the story is you can throw up on a girl's back and still get what you want. It's a little bit of a gross story. I understand that.
That's probably how this girl felt when I barfed, when I was covered in barf.
And you had that barf stew pan that you were using.
Yeah. When I cooked that barf stew.
We live right outside of San Francisco, and the San Francisco Giants won the World Series the other day. And so everyone went to the city and kind of, there's certain areas in the city they fucking destroyed it. They just crushed it. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
And I want to know why, were you
there?
No, dude, I hate the Giants, bro.
You were in Daly City?
South San Francisco. I grew up in Texas. That's my baseball team, and the Giants beat my team a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The Giants fans drive me up the wall, dude. There's some legit hardcore older fans, but a lot of their new, younger fans only watch them if they're good. And they only care about them because they have famous guys like Tim Lincecum or Panda or The Beard, like guys you've probably heard of.
Yeah.
And you don't even follow this stuff.
I don't give a fuck about those guys either.
I know, because you're fucking legit, dude. You're too legit to quit. You remember MC Hammer? You should look that video up.
They call that one guy Baby
Jesus.
Baby Giraffe.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
Brandon Belt.
He's like, he looks like a sorority guy who doesn't look like a giraffe. He's just got like a little
fraternity
bit of
guy. Sorority is for chicks.
There you go. I'm sorry. I went to art school. And he's got like a little bit of a longer neck. Mm-hmm. But like, I hate how this, like, you associate, when you think of a baby giraffe, you think of something really cute.
Mm-hmm.
And,
he's not.
And he's not.
He's not handsome at all.
No.
It's not a good looking team. It is not a good looking team.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the first one to look at a bunch of good looking dudes. Yeah. But they are not it, dude. Like, their third baseman is this fat 5'9" guy that weighs 270. Their first baseman's Baby Giraffe. Up the middle, they're just not an attractive team. They're just not an attractive team, but it doesn't. That's completely irrelevant.
I hate to take such a strong stance against the Giants, considering we're living just south of San Francisco.
Yeah.
But and this could create a void between us and our viewers. But,
well, they're certainly, dude. The Giants won the World Series. They're awesome.
Yeah,
no two ways about
it. No doubt about it.
Period.
I watched the game.
Did you? I didn't watch any.
I watched it.
Which game?
But I didn't pay attention at all because baseball's boring to me. I don't know if it's probably not just me.
Lots of people aren't into sports.
Yeah.
I don't like fucking watching a show called Lost.
There you go.
Right? Different sports for different folks. But at the end of the day, we come together, we give each other a high five. Maybe I'll grab Mitchy on the ass. Maybe I'll give him a couple of shots of vodka. Maybe I'll fuck him in the ass. Who knows? There's no way to know. There's no way to know, dude. Life is unpredictable. Would you agree with that? Would you agree life is unpredictable, Mitchy?
I would agree.
Okay, that's all I want. So you agree with that?
You sure that's all you want, right?
Well, I mean, anything else I want will involve me giving you vodka, so you don't have to worry about that right now. Sorry, Mitchy just found out about some things. This show's about learning. It's about learning and interacting with our viewers and listeners. So we didn't find any good enough email questions this week. We didn't.
We sifted through the many. I laughed, I cried, and in the end, I deleted them all.
I saw a couple of them. A couple of them were just really disrespectful to women. Like, to us, women are not objects. They're not pieces of meat. They're people.
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful creatures. They're beautiful cretins, dude. Creatures that baby Jesus put on earth for us to look at and admire, right?
Exactly.
I did want to talk about this storm.
Oh.
This storm Sandy.
Yeah.
And where it's coming from and what's happening. And I wanted your opinion on it. Why is this storm so... Dude, this storm is like once in...
I wish something like that would happen here.
There will be. There will be an earthquake. You don't want it to happen here.
I don't want an earthquake. I want a flood.
Why?
Because I want to take a boat to work, even though I don't have a boat.
Have you considered, given your lack of money, that you will have to purchase a fucking boat? Right? Think about that.
I'm crafty, though. I'll build
You are crafty. You could probably build one. But never.
I watched a lot of Lost.
The destruction that storm is going to wreak on the east and northeast of America, you're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars. Like, nuclear reactors are getting flooded.
Who's paying for all that? The deficit? Or is that
no, it's
insurance companies?
The government will pay for it. It'll always have to be.
Why not just print some more money?
That's what they do. That's what we do. We print more money, but every time you print more money, it makes the money you have worth less money.
Exactly.
It's supply and demand. That's why it's amazing to me when I watch these political shows and I see all of these conservatives complaining about the government, and then when bad things happen, they want the government's help. And I don't understand how that keeps happening in this country, and maybe you can answer it.
Who else is supposed to help? Superman?
You're right. No, not Superman. There's only one organization in this country big enough, equipped enough to help a lot of people.
The government?
That's it, yeah. It's millions of people big, and we can use the military, and you can use the reserves. There's no other organization. You can't use private businesses to fix up.
Does other governments have other organizations, like things like Al-Qaeda?
No, Al-Qaeda's not a government.
I know, but like private regimes that'll like a militia. Like we had a militia that was independently owned.
Well, a militia is just a private army.
Right, like a private army that would come to rescue people. Like basically,
still, who's going to pay them?
Without superpowers.
Who's going to pay them? The government.
They'll charge a fee.
To who?
For saving cats.
Who?
Etc.
I mean, if people really think this through, and I don't think they do, there's nothing that can do it but the government. What you just suggested is not really feasible, right?
I tried.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so it's going to have to be the government to clean it up.
Do you have any relatives out there?
I have some in Ohio, like my mom's cousins, but no, everybody I'm related to is out here, or Texas, Oregon.
Granted, people who are in this flood, what is it, a tsunami?
No, it's a tropical storm that's going to be a hurricane. It's a
hurricane. People who are in this hurricane aren't going to have internet because all the power's out in New York.
It's true. It's going to cut down on our listeners.
Yeah.
God damn it! Well,
but if you're in this storm, you should write to us.
Oh, yeah. Write to us. You can hit me up on Twitter at Stern Ryan.
You can send us a video or an audio clip.
Oh, yeah.
We'll play it on the show.
As long as no one's dying, because we value human life a lot here.
Yeah.
You might not know from the tone and the lack of respect and the just pure amount of crass crudeness that we speak about in Mitchell's farts and all the women Mitchell's violated over the last 2 decades. Like, there's hundreds of women out there seeing psychiatrists because of what Mitchy did to their brains.
What?
You're a heartbreaker. No? It's not true?
It's not true.
I guess I just assume Mitchy gets a lot of tail because he's I assume that guys that are good artists, it's really easy to get chicks.
How?
What do you mean?
That fucking paint a picture? Like Titanic?
If it's easy for me to get chicks, it should be easy for you to get chicks. Because you can paint pictures. I can paint pictures with my words.
I've never had too hard of a time getting chicks.
Yeah.
But I don't abuse it. I'm not like...
Well, you got a special lady now.
Yeah.
You guys are pretty much... Would you say married or no?
No.
Would you say pretty much married?
No. I wouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right. Well, there's 2 schools of thought. Another artist at our company says they're pretty much married. And I'm not going to say his name, but it rhymes with Roby. T. Wayne. Yeah, he said that yesterday.
Anyway, let's talk about our name.
All right. Go ahead, Mitchy.
So we're still torn on our name between...
Big Sack Lunch.
Big Sack Lunch and 3 dudes in a bubble bath. And granted, right now we have 2 dudes in a bubble bath.
But that's a lot more room for us for horseplay, dude. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it gets really tight in there with 3 dudes, though Johnny's pretty slender.
Yeah, so it's all about
whether... He has the softest hands. I'm sorry, what? Go ahead. Enough about Johnny's hands. He's from Alabama.
Do we want to... I don't know how to settle this, other than just a flip of a coin.
We can just flip a coin. I mean, You know what? We have enough of a listener base at this point that I think no matter what, we're going to be okay. Like we have a slight. It's not a big listener base, but it's several hundred, 1,000 people.
Right.
20% of them are chicks. By the way, if you can, to Belinda that sent that naked pic, you can keep sending them. But if you keep sending them, you got to eat less food, right? Belinda, okay.
Fucking Belinda.
Yeah, I mean she's pretty.
I thought her name was Rhonda.
If I were her, I would do a little more like cardio? Trimming and grooming and cardio. Yeah. Dude, she's hairier than an Arab. Like her back looks like a skunk. There was a strip of hair down the middle of her back. Anyhow, anyway, whatever.
So I found the top of your beer on the ground there.
Yeah, I'm drinking a beer at lunch.
Let's give her a flip, see where it lands.
But it will always land. What if it lands on?
And so heads being the printed side.
Big sack lunch.
It's big sack lunch.
Tails is 3 dudes in a bubble bath.
There you go.
Even though it's only 2. I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to let it land on the ground.
All right.
Oh, 3 dudes in a bubble bath. Landed on the back, just like Mitchy's, all the Mitchy's girls. Because they're always on their back because Mitchy's having sex with them. Well, for now, it's 3 dudes in a bubble bath, unless we get some huge volume of email, but so be it. Sure,
is that how we should let it stay? Because I kind of like big sack lunch.
Okay, well, today, it's 3 dudes in a bubble bath. Now you like big sack lunch, you son of a whore. Son of a bitch. All right. Look at Dub out there, looking foxy.
You know what? Huh. I could commit to 3 dudes in a bubble bath. Because it lends itself to a cool
intro
website design.
I do want intro music, and I've already there's a song that I like.
You know the hold music on our meeting phones? Mm-hmm. Do you know how to log into that?
It sounds like porno music.
Exactly.
No, I don't know. When we have these group meetings at our company every morning or whatever, when you call in, before it connects everyone, there's this porno music. It's like... And I feel so uncomfortable with all these other dudes in the room that something might happen, that someone might touch me or something. And if they do, how will I respond?
It sounds like a sex line. Not that I've ever called one of those, but...
Dude, you know what? In the late 90s, there were these 900 numbers, and you could call them, and other girls would call and leave messages in your voice box, and then you'd go meet them and hang out with them. And I remember this in college, yeah. Me and a lot of dudes.
Did you have a beeper?
I had a pager, yeah. I had a SkyTel pager, dude. And if you wanted to get a hold of me, you have to fucking page me. Then you have to go find a bunch of phones, though, and you have to make sure you have quarters. Remember that?
Yeah.
Dude, fucking crazy, dude, the 90s. No, the 90s weren't that bad. Everyone was happy. This is before climate change was fucking us in the ass. There was no George Bush.
You've seen Terminator, right?
Yeah. T2 is my favorite movie ever.
I think
Big Lebowski.
I think it was the first one where
T1.
The kid in that one, the little punk ass, the grunge kid.
That's T2, bro.
T2. Yeah. All right. The kid, he hacks an ATM machine.
Yeah. Eddie Worthington is his name in real life.
There you go.
Yeah. He hacked a ATM machine.
That was sweet. You can't get away with that anymore.
No.
But back in the day, that was believable.
You can't rob banks anymore. 20 years ago, you could rob a bank. Now everything is tracked. Honestly, if someone wanted to use a satellite to hear us talking right now, they could do it. Like
I've seen Batman. They could do it.
I've seen Batman Arkham Asylum, dude.
What is that?
It's one of the best PS3 games ever.
Game?
Dude, do you have a PS3? No, you don't. Mitchy still has... You're about 10 years behind, correct?
GameCube, $30.
That's a great purchase. I've actually been playing Resident Evil 4, which is a GameCube game, on my PS3, and I just about beat it last night, and then I'm going to go 5, and then I'm going to do 6, and then I'm going to buy the Wii U next week. You want to come see it?
I want to see that.
Isn't that dope?
Yeah.
I would encourage people to look up the Nintendo Wii U. Guess what comes out today? Assassin's Creed 3.
I saw that. Ubisoft.
Assassin's Creed are fun games, but they're the most overrated series in the history of video games. As someone who's played them all, they're overrated. They're so grand and so broad.
Would you still buy them? You are going to buy them.
I will. I buy a lot of things.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, I'm an American. That's my fucking job, right? My job is to buy things. Yeah, to buy things, to drink beer, to knock shit out of the park, walk around, and just do my best, dude.
Get prego.
Knock broads up.
Have more kids that'll buy more stuff.
Yeah, basically, that's America's job at this point. And our job at the office is me and Mitchy have to be the guys who are happy and smiling because there's like a cloud over the developers over there. They're all gloomy all the time, right?
Just Mark.
Oh.
Just
pissed off? Yeah.
Pissed off Christoph.
That's true. There's a big old cloud. That's true. Good point. Well, what are you going to do? So, looks like we're winding up our 30 minutes. We didn't have any topics this week, so I'm surprised we got through it that fast. But with me and Mitchy, anything's possible. We have our Podblast email, right?
Yep,
That's
podblast2k12@gmail.com. Or we have a contact form on the website, which is podblast.tumblr.com.
Podblast.tumblr.com. And then if you want to tweet me at Ray Stern, which is at Stern Ryan, STERNRYAN. And Mitchy will be responding to Podblast emails. We couldn't get through all of them last time, but this week we're going to try to. You can't commit when you have a job and a girl and all this other shit, but we're going to do the best we can do.
And some Lost to watch.
And Lost and baseball for me.
Yeah. Also, if you're tired of our poor sound quality, consider donating. Because we could really use a couple mics.
Yeah. That might not happen until we get super, super huge.
Yeah.
Which we're going to need Johnny to commit and get off his ass.
It'll happen sooner or later.
You hear me, Johnny? Stop being a fucking bitch and just do it. You got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose, Johnny. Where the fuck are you, bro? All right? Good shit, Mitchy. High five.
All right.
All right, we'll be back. We'll be back this week or next week. Peace out.
See you then.